Hey guys, it's ViewMasters Reactions, and this is the review for Season 4 of The Wire. I'm just going to talk briefly about it. I'm going to touch on a little bit of everything, but then on Friday, coming up in 2 days, Friday night, I can finally live stream again. I haven't live streamed in 3 months. Those of you that started the channel with me know that I live streamed a Game of Thrones premiere of this season, and I was using a mirror. I showed some of the image, and I got banned from live streaming for 90 days. The ban just finished about 3 days ago, 2 days ago. Haven't live streamed yet, but I'm waiting for the weekend. This Friday night, 9 o'clock Eastern time, I'm going to post a thing like tomorrow reminding everybody. I'm going to talk about other things too, but I'm going to mainly focus on The Wire. I want to talk to a lot of the people I talked to back when I live streamed about The Wire, and I have since gained almost 2,000 subscribers, so I'm assuming the live chat will have a lot more action. We would get like maybe 10, 15, 20 people in them. That's when I had 200 subscribers. So I'm hoping to get a lot more now. We'll get some interaction. I'll talk about other things. I'm also going to see Lion King tomorrow, so I'll be talking about that too if you guys want to talk about Lion King, the new one, the live action. Anyway, on to The Wire. This season started out much different than I expected. The aspect of it being revolved around the kids actually really threw me off. I didn't think I liked the season at all when it first started. Basically, when it started, I'm like, all right, is this just going to focus around these kids? I hope this is just like the first episode segueing into something new, or like maybe using the kids as an element to get us to meet the new people, or maybe they were the kids of the people we knew, which in one case it was. Weebay was Naaman's father. And someone told me in the comments after I finished the finale that Randy is actually Cheese's kid. I don't know if you guys read the comments, but a lot of people that had actually watched the show several times were saying they didn't even know that. And then they looked into it, and it was like something expressed by David Simon way after the show released, that the intentions were to have Randy be Cheese's kid. I think they said something about they even mentioned his last name a couple times to try to give you the connection, but I don't think they ever mentioned Cheese's last name. I guess you just got to really know the show and make the connection. But other people have confirmed since then that Randy is Cheese's kid, so I thought that was pretty clever. At this point, I would say this season is my favorite. I loved season 2. I related much better to the characters and stuff because I used to do those kind of jobs. With very little time, they went very deep into a lot of new characters. They went deeper into a lot of older characters. Everyone flip-flops. McNulty is like the greatest guy on earth now, even though he was like the worst in the beginning. Barely we see McNulty in this season, but I was okay with that because when you did see him, you felt happy for him because he's happy with Beadie. He's helping Beadie with her kids. His kids are all grown up now. But towards the end there, it did show his ex-wife pop up, and she was definitely flirting with him, and he is always going to have a place in his heart for her, and he even tried to get back with her. Is Beadie enough for him to stay good, or is he going to get sucked into the bad things again this next season? Because now he's back in Major Crimes. Everyone's back together. I'm pretty sure Greg's is going to be with them. They were insinuating that she might stay with Homicide, or was that just sarcasm and I'm looking too much into it? Regardless, I'm assuming there's going to be a slight time jump, and Greg's is already going to be in Major Crimes, along with everyone else. I'm pretty sure this show is going to end with everybody back together in one happy band of brothers. Major Crimes. Daniel's running stuff, has much more pull now. At the end there, we see Daniels and Perlman meeting with Carcetti. In the booth across is Burrell and Clay Davis. I am really liking Clay Davis now too. I'm not going to do a top 10 characters because I thought about it, and I like a lot of characters equally. There isn't really one character this season that really like jumped out at me like, oh my God, hands down, greatest character. Bubbles had a great story arc. Bodie was really good towards the end, even though he died. Bubbles almost died at the end. I really liked a lot of the kids. Even though Randy annoyed me and the whole snitching thing bothered me, he was still a really cool character. Dookie was really cool. I dug him. They were all special in their own ways. Even Naaman, who bothered me most of the time and I thought was so annoying, he had his reasons, and he was still a very well acted character. The acting in the show is insane. Even down to the youngest actor I can remember, Kennard. I expect at least one or two, especially of the younger actors, to like kind of fall apart. Albert was great. He was another one of the younger group. And then you got Michael. Michael is the only one, besides maybe Naaman, that I could see popping up a lot in next season. I mean, maybe even Naaman wouldn't even pop up that much unless they dive more into Colvin's job now where he's helping the kids and he's going to try to start that program or like have it refunded. That is the only reason I could see Naaman popping up if Colvin's story is still undone. But if Colvin isn't popping up, I don't see them really having a point for Naaman. They already kind of finalized that Weebay was like, no, you let our kid go and live with this dude and hopefully better himself. There really is no reason to bring Naaman back unless he like turned or something. But at the end there, we saw Donut. Donut sort of gave him a little nod. I really dig Donut. Really funny dude. But I'm willing to bet Naaman's story's done. I'm also shocked that there wasn't more to the Walker story. Michael stole Walker's ring. They really fucked with him, throwing the paint on him. Donut had his fingers broke by him because he was stealing cars and running and Walker didn't dig it. Walker has done so much fucked up shit. He slammed Omar into the ground and fucked him up. Like, just constantly shitting on people. When he hit the lady and then blamed the lady and then like shortly thereafter he admitted he was guilty. Nothing ever happened with him. I'm wondering if like them getting paint on him and stealing his ring was sort of like his comeuppance, but I was hoping a little more would happen. I was hoping like the cops would find out how dirty he is and like McNulty and them would sort of like bitch slap him around or something. Maybe there's more to it next season, but I don't see that being a big thing next season either. I feel like there is very limited time, so they're not going to focus on silly things. Someone told me next season is only 10 episodes. That is going to go by very quickly. Hopefully they focus on more important things. I'm really hoping that Avon comes out of prison. They never really focused on Avon towards the end of that season. The only person we really saw was Weebay from that crew, besides Slim Charles, who really isn't with that crew anymore. Weebay is basically the only one we saw, and it was totally unrelated to Avon. It was more focused on his kid. I mean, I'm assuming Avon's got to come out, and there's got to be a focus around Avon. They were even showing Lester looking at old Avon Barksdale files and stuff like that. So clearly they are foreshadowing that this is all going to come together. Everyone back in Major Crimes hunting back on Avon, but Avon's got to get out and start some shit up. Maybe they're going to chase after him and all the money he's hidden and put away for like his retirement, so to speak. Maybe Weebay will get out too, just for shits and giggles, even though I'm pretty sure he's got a life sentence, so that'd be pretty slim. Slim Charles and Prop Joe and all them are like together with Marlo. Marlo has got a man on the Greeks guy. Spiro, maybe his name is. He's trying to find out like all the ins and outs of the operation. Michael, though, is now Marlo's like up and coming riser. We got Snoop and Chris training him. At the end there, we see their other guys are double tapping Bodie in the head. Michael shot the guy. They're basically forming an army. I'm willing to bet Michael will be a prominent part of next season. Otherwise, why focus on him as much as they did? Clearly, he is very tight with Snoop, Chris, and Marlo's crew now. And he's living in a very nice apartment, taking care of Dookie and Bug. Willing to bet we'll see a lot of them too. We also saw Prizbluski noticed that Dookie was working a corner now. Looked like the same corner Naaman was running, but obviously Naaman's not doing that anymore. As far as Bubbles, at the end there, we see that Bubbles is a wreck. Bubbles is destroyed. The guy, I don't remember his name, but the guy from AA, that is the real guy in real life that is a recovering addict. He walks in there. He says like 2 words and Bubbles just like hysterically breaks down. Greggs is watching. I can't help but feel Greggs feels somewhat responsible because she was supposed to help him and pawned him off to Carver, who in turn pawned him off to Herc, who basically fucked everyone's lives up in this season. Herc screwed over Randy, got Little Kev killed, fucked Bubbles' life up because Bubbles would have never had to taint the drugs that killed Sherrod had Herc just stuck to his word. Had Herc roughed up the guy and stopped Bubbles from getting beat up, none of that other stuff would have happened. So Herc is responsible for Sherrod's death, Little Kev's death, almost Randy's death, but now Randy is getting beat to shit because he is a snitch. None of all those things would have happened. Herc has ruined so many lives this season, at least 4 that I know of. Randy, Sherrod, Little Kev, and Bubbles' lives are destroyed now because of Herc's one action over a fucking camera. So Herc is probably my least liked guy in the show now. That is a major character, even more so than like the guy that roughs Bubbles up, because the guy that roughs Bubbles up is what he is. I've said this before. He's a piece of shit and he is what he is. Herc thinks he's like doing right and is just a selfish asshole and fucking up many lives for what he thinks is like important shit like a camera. I hate his guts. Daniels and Perlman are a thing now. Someone made a comment on it too. I forget who it was. I think it was Burrell or something. But like I said, we see Clay Davis and Burrell talking. Can't help but think they're going to be a huge part of it. Rolls apologized to Burrell for trying to like sneak his way in there and like kind of butt Burrell out. But Burrell played hardball and got Carcetti to like back down. And now he's running shit again. Omar's story. I'm wondering if that is finished. I don't know if I edited it out or not, but I might have not. In my reaction, I initially said that the whole end there with Omar reminded me of a movie called Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. A 90s movie, one of my all-time favorites, poster hanging up in my gym. It's like a 90s cheesy action heist movie with Don Johnson and Mickey Rourke as Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. Highly recommend it, but the point being that there is a heist in the movie, and this is in the beginning, so this is somewhat of a spoiler, but it's in the first 20 minutes. They perform a heist, and they all get away, and as they're leaving the building, and they think they got away scot-free, they are literally cheersing to celebrate the success of the heist, and in walks the people that they robbed and murder all of them, except for the Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man, hence the movie. That is the beginning of the movie, the first 20 minutes. Highly recommend it. Cheesy 90s action flick. But that's what I thought in this. When I saw Omar and all them like celebrating, like, yeah, we did it. And she's like, tell anybody if they got another job, I'm retired, blah, blah, blah. I thought for sure cars were going to come flying up. Marlo was going to have them surrounded and everyone was dead. I was willing to expect anything. So I was like, oh my God, are they all going to like come out the back? And Butchie and the girl and Omar and his guy and everybody are just going to get gunned down. And that's it for Omar, like story done. But no, they all like drove off into the sunset and there wasn't a hitch. I can't believe that Omar's story would actually be over. But like I said, 10 episodes next season. One of the episodes, the finale, is supposedly the longest episode in HBO series history. I think people said an hour and 40 minutes, so almost 2 hours long, something like that. So it's almost like 11 episodes, I guess. They can only do so much. Basically less than 11 hours. We still have to deal with Avon. We still got McNulty, Greggs, Herc, Carver, Daniels, Burrell, Rolls. We're probably going to focus a lot on Michael and Marlo and Prop Joe. Omar, if Omar's still not done, we got Omar and his whole crew. Butchie, Snoop and Chris, Clay Davis, Carcetti, Perlman, Beatty, his ex-wife, Bunk, Cinder, Bubbles, Landsman. Oh my God, the names are endless. I probably missed 100, like Donut. Bodie's dead. Poot's still alive. We have so many main characters they have to focus on. One season left to do it. I'm trying to think if I missed anything else major from this season. Przybluski is still going to be teaching. Phenomenal season. But if I had to say my saddest moments of the show, was Bodie dying was by far number one. I get it. He went out like a champ and he like went out guns blazing, but I wish he like prepared a little better. I know he was just fed up, but he kind of knew that was coming. I wish he just prepared a little better, or even if he didn't prepare better, at least like kind of duck and cover, kind of like try a little harder. He just stood strong on that corner and I did dig it. It was one of the better deaths, maybe my favorite death because it kind of like was honorable, so to speak. He died fighting for his corner. It was like the end of him anyway. How much longer could Bodie go? He was literally telling McNulty, I've been doing this basically my whole life and shit never changes. The second shit gets bad, everyone forgets about Bodie. It seemed like he just kind of like gave up and threw in the towel. A lot of people were telling me that talk McNulty and him had were like set up like a chessboard and the position of them. I don't really know chess. I've never played chess. It's just something I've never done. So I really don't get the analogies and like the positioning of the pieces and stuff like that. But the fact that they did it and took that much notice to detail is really, really cool. I did notice them talking about it and reminiscing about season 1, was it? I believe. Yeah, it was season 1. That was definitely a sad moment. The whole Bubbles thing, the arc, him killing Sherrod and then turning into a wreck, being like put into a mental institution basically because he tried to kill himself. I thought for a split second he was dead. I was in a state of shock for about 10 or 20 seconds. Then I saw Landsman brought him back. They could have milked that for a while. They would have had me going like when Greggs was in the hospital. They could have let that lie for an episode or two and I would have been like Bubbles is dead. But they let you know very quickly that nope, he's still alive. But the reason they let you know really quick is because the last episode and a half was showing him crumble and deteriorate, and they needed that time to show you how he fell apart. They also touched on Greg's and Cheryl. Cheryl's got a new girlfriend who is a very successful lawyer, or going to be, I guess. And Greg's is trying to make good, giving her like alimony, so to speak, or child support. I'm wondering if that's going to come into play next season. I'm willing to bet they're done with Cheryl. Like that was their way of getting her out of the picture. I was complaining about her in season 2 and 3, I think, saying, I get it. I really do like the actress and Cheryl's a cool character, but it's like, if they're just going to bicker and fight the whole time, why do we need her? I don't need like that aspect anymore. It's like, all right, we get it. It didn't work out. End of the saga. They'll probably show bits and pieces of her because Greg's is still kind of connected through the baby, but I'm willing to bet most of that's over. Really wondering what they're going to do at Bunk. We don't really see a whole lot of Bunk's wife. We don't really see a whole lot of Przybluski's wife. Are we going to see them? Are they going to touch on the dock workers at all in season 5? Because I'm told that they touch on a little bit of everything, knowing it's the final season. I kind of want them to do like little flashbacks and stuff. So I want to know how many people we're going to see, if we're going to see everybody. Are we going to see Ziggy? Even though I don't like Ziggy, and Ziggy is probably one of my, if not my most hated character in all the series, I love the actor and the character is entertaining to watch. Even though he's a piece of shit scumbag, I wouldn't mind seeing what's up with Ziggy. I know he's in prison. That would be kind of funny. Somehow Avon and Ziggy met up and like Ziggy's working for Avon. Avon don't have a whole lot of people left. Everyone's either in prison, dead, or went with Slim Charles, who is now with like Marlo and Prop Joe. I haven't seen Avon in the last half a season, so I don't know what the deal with that is. I'm trying to keep this around 15 minutes. I don't want to talk too much. Like I said, Friday, I'm doing a live stream. I'm going to see Lion King tomorrow night. I will talk about that. I will talk about all the Wire stuff. I'll talk about any of the other shows I'm reacting to. You want to talk more? Check out the live stream on Friday, 9 o'clock Eastern time. Anything else you guys want to know? Anything I missed? I'm sure I missed a bunch. You let me know. Comments down below. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.